Hey you, it's me, the Juice Clues, playing Hardpoint on the map Riot. I am using the ASM1 competence, and the attachments I'm using for that are the extended mags, laser sight, and foreskin. I mean foregrip. No, foreskin. Foreskin works. But moving on from that, the main purpose of this video is to explain my tactics when it comes to using a submachine gun class. First of all, rush. That is the number one thing I suggest when it comes to using the submachine gun. And if you're not rushing and using an SMG, there's really no point in using it. It's definitely a rushing weapon. Now, something I'd like to explain, because I've played with some people and they've thought it strange that I use the laser sight. They get confused, they think it sucks, and I'm going to explain why it doesn't. Why I think you should be using a laser sight on your gun if you're using an SMG class. And if you don't know this by now, and I'm sure you do, but if you don't, 95% of the time, when you encounter an enemy in Call of Duty, whoever lands the first shot will most likely win that gunfight. So, something else that you might not know, and you may know, doesn't matter, I'm going to point it out anyway. Something else a lot of people do, whether that's you or not, is irrelevant. A lot of people do this. When they encounter an opponent in this game, the first thing they do, aim down sights. Most of the time, most people. And I am telling you not to do that. See that I'm using my hip fire a lot, and the laser sight is definitely helping me. If you don't think it is, then I don't know what to tell you. But I find it definitely helps a lot. When you encounter an enemy, the first thing they do is aim down sights. So, however long that takes, roughly half a second, that gives you an extra half a second to land that first shot. Now, if you're doing the same thing as them and aiming down sights, if they saw you first, they saw you a fraction of a second first, they will aim down sights first and they will shoot you. So, if you can land the first shot without aiming down sights, and then proceed to aim down sights while shooting, you will most likely win the gunfight. Because you have that extra time. You have that extra reaction time. You have time to shoot and kill. They don't. Now, another point I'd like to make when it comes to using a laser sight is the fact that your sensitivity, whatever you have it at, I hope that you have, when you're using a submachine gun, that you have it relatively low, 3 or 4. 4 might be a little high, but 3 or 4. They're both pretty good. Whatever you have it at, if you go to aim down sights at somebody, you decrease your sensitivity by however much. You will decrease it a little bit. And you will not have that same mobility. You will not have that same versatility. It just won't work as well as if you were aiming with hip fire. So this makes it really helpful with the fact that people like to move. And especially in this game with exo movements, people love using their exos. People love just sliding all over the place, farting around. Somebody comes farting around up in your face, so you aim down sights, somebody slides out of the way, slaps you upside the dick. You will not kill them. You won't stand a chance against somebody who slides out of your line of gunfire. They will get the rest of the shots in on you that they need, and you will most likely die. But if you're using hip fire first to just get that first, it's more of a tag shot. It gets you that first bullet. So as long as if you like to aim down sights, that's perfectly fine. But if you get that first shot before you even aim down sights, while you're aiming down sights, you're getting all those in, but you still have that first shot. And like I said earlier in the video, the first shot wins the gunfight 95% of the time. So, if you're hip firing, somebody slides dash out of the way, you can follow them with your gun. You will not be slowed down by ADS. You will be able to kill them, no matter where they go. It makes life so much easier, and I can't stress it enough, guys. It's definitely worth it, and I really suggest you try it. And if you don't believe me, just look at the gameplay. But if you still don't believe me, try it for yourself. Try the class. Try adding a laser sight. And if it's not working that great, add a foregrip, because the foregrip adds a lot of stability to the gun. So if you're still having a lot of spread, the foregrip may help that. So I really like the class. I thought it was wonderful. Right now I'm doing a lot of quick scoping though. So, but like I said, this is an old gameplay, but when I used to run an SMG all the time, this was my exact setup, and it worked so well. It's definitely worth giving a try at least. And if you don't like it, then what do you have to lose? Then you just know that you don't like it. But if you don't try it, you'll never know. So, back to the point of rushing. Or not the point, but back to my tactics. Rushing. When I said rule number 1 is rush. If you're not rushing, then you might as well not be using a submachine gun. There are certain ways to rush. Just running in willy-nilly, flopping around right in everybody's lines of sight is not rushing. Don't do that. Bad idea. What you gotta do is a mixture between flanking and misdirection. Now, what I mean by misdirection is right here, you'll see in a second, I get shot from behind. There we go. He doesn't know where I'm coming from. He expects me to be coming from that middle right there. He runs in. I flank around. That's where the flanking comes in. I flank around and get him where he least expects me. It is so important that you do that. Right there, I went where they were expecting me to go, because that was the direction I was running when they shot me, and I went around the corner, and I got killed. Now, the reason it's so useful is because if you're going where they least expect you, you won't be killed, because they're going to be aiming where they expect you. That's just the rule. That's a rule, good rule to follow, rule of thumb. Right here, this is an example of using your EXO. Use it. Use it to your ability. Use it to your advantage. It will help you a lot. If somebody is corner camping like that little wiener, then you won't have a problem with them. They won't be ready for you to slide around the corner like that. That being said, be ready for somebody to do that to you. Expect the unexpected is another good point. Be the unexpected, but expect the unexpected. Good rule. Now, we're getting really close to the end of the game, and I believe I have like 40 kills right now. That should be where I'm at. We'll see in a second. Right here, I noticed that they were spawning back there, and I was kind of confused, considering I was kind of aiming to the spawn. I kind of screwed up right there because I started to reload when a guy was coming. Even when I got the first shots in, the pressure was too hot, so I kind of bit the dust. But the majority of the game, you notice that most of the kills towards me were not from people in front of me. The majority of them were from the side or where I didn't expect it. I say expect the unexpected, but when you're shooting at one person and somebody shoots you from another place, it's kind of hard to expect that. Or to unexpect that, I guess. It's expectable, but it's kind of hard to misdirect yourself. Like, change where you're facing to do that while you're shooting somebody. It's kind of you either get the kill or you die without it. Anyway, so there's the end of the game, guys. I got 48 kills and 9 deaths. 245 to, what was that? 122? Kudos to the guys that stayed, though. They stayed for the most part of the game, and I'm very impressed because a lot of people rage quit. So, anyway, if you liked the video, guys, make sure you leave a like, and if you want to see more from me, click the link on screen. You can see the previous video. And if you really like my videos, go ahead and subscribe and stay for a while. Remember, it's free. I won't charge you a penny. Well, okay, maybe a penny. No, I won't charge you. You mean enough that I won't charge you. So, without further ado, I am the Jews Clues. Thank you for watching. Signing out.